told you I'm coming for you, I'm coming through you. Either way, it don't matter. So clear the space like
Welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31.
Hey, why they so mad at you? A cock to the distance is no.
What is up? What is up? We are having some technical difficulties. Hope everybody's good. We got to restart this thing up. We got some things going on in here in the background that switched up here. But hope everybody's having a good day. Give me 1 second to get this organized. Yeah. Hope everybody's doing well though. 1 second. Yeah. Gotta reload some stuff. Where is this at? One second, guys. Sorry about this. Sorry about this. We are having some technical difficulties. Man, I don't know what just happened here on my computer. Everything just left. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Okay, I guess we're just gonna have to leave it at that. How's everybody doing today? It's Bird Game 31. Welcome to the Wake Up. Sorry about the technical difficulties. I don't know what just happened there. We got Birdman 951 in the building. What's up, my guy? Make sure you guys hitting that like on the way in. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It says number 9 on that like button. Today I just wanted to talk to you guys. Sorry about the intro. Sorry about all that stuff. We had some technical difficulties here, but we're definitely going to keep rocking through it. I want to talk about Jalen Hurts getting his contract today. I also want to talk about what I've seen with the Eagles being top 5 in the NFC. And then I want to talk about Miles Sanders and what he said about the Eagles, feeling like he's on the All-Star team this offseason. All the players are feeling like they're on the All-Star team this year. So, new room. Yeah, I got a new room, got a new setup. Still got some more stuff to put inside here. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, make sure you check out all the platforms. We do got the VIP link in. This will take you to all of my platforms and social media platforms, and also take you BGN Entertainment, BGN Sports Media, and also the merchandise stores are all on this one link. So we don't have to worry about having all those links. You can go hit it up here. So yeah, man. Thanks. But yeah, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I'm kind of off because I was hoping to have the intro, chill out, get things started that way. But it is what it is, and we're gonna go for the goat as we do every show. So Let's start with Jalen Hurts. They say Jalen Hurts is looking to get a 30 to 40, I think it was like 35 to $40 million contract extension next year. First question I have to ask you guys: do you think that the Eagles should go ahead and get this done early in the season, or do you think we should wait? Wait to after the year, make sure he's our quarterback, make sure he's playing at a high level and doing the things he's supposed to. Because I really believe the Eagles are smart. They go ahead and get it done now. The salary cap's going to continue to go up. Jalen Hurts is that guy. He's proven it throughout the whole off season. Like no one works harder than this guy. This guy's out there working on all his mechanics. I'm pretty sure his head's in the playbook, working out in the gym with the linemen again this year. I think we need to how we need to continue to be smart with these contracts and go out there and sign our quarterback. He is our leader right now. Jalen Hurts is the guy. There's no question about it. He's a young guy. He does have room to improve, but I do believe that, this season we would definitely see, a bigger sample size of Jalen Hurts' talent. I think you're going to see him hit that next plateau, that next tier. You see a lot of top 40 quarterbacks out there, and you see, Jalen in the top 20, which is respectable for not being on the list last year. But I think Jalen's definitely in that top 15 range. I personally have him at 12. Some people have him higher, some people have him lower. Not too many people have him higher than that, but a lot of people have him lower. But I do believe in the growth that he's making this offseason. I do believe that's going to help affect his play come the regular season. So the sky's the limit for Jalen Hurts. I think that we need to all back him and be 100% behind him, and that is also that also includes ownership. That also includes Howie and these guys getting this guy paid early to have one less thing he has to worry about. You already cleared the room for him, but now time to give him that bag. Give him the bag so he can become a top flight, top paid quarterback in this league. Does he need to be 50 million, 45? No. That'll be too much. But 35 to $40 million extension would be perfect for a guy like Jalen Hurts. I really think that's about his worth there. He's worth $35-40 million, especially with the market going up. So how we make it happen soon. You give him a 3-year extension. That'll keep him around as long as you're going to have AJ Brown around, so they can build a nice bond, chemistry. Even Smitty, I think, because he was a first rounder. So yeah, he gets the 5th-year option. So you have all these guys in house for years to come. It'd be smart to just go ahead and get it out of the way. It can help this organization for the now and the future. Jalen Hurts, I promise you guys, Jalen Hurts will be a top 10 quarterback by the end of the season. There's no shadow of a doubt that he will be. I fully believe with all my heart. I think we've seen a top 10 talent last year with mistakes. Like we've seen him make plays that no one else made in the league. He has one of the best runs in the last season when he had that run where he's had 300-yard games. He's put the money on the ball where people's dropping them and missing them, and he's overthrew some too. But Jalen Hurts has proved everything he needs to be 6th overall. I'll continue to say it, to be 6th overall. All time. It's definitely something that you can't frown on. Like the production from this guy is large, and he definitely has to improve as a passer. Moving forward. But that's every quarterback. Every quarterback, it takes years, takes 2-3 years. You name me a, top 5 quarterback that it didn't take them time to become great, and some of them came in more skilled passing, but they still had to learn how to read defenses. We've had a lot of quarterbacks come through this league that had a great arm, but couldn't understand the game, the NFL game. So that's what held them back from becoming these stars, becoming the true talents they should be. And I think that Jalen Hurts is going to get better with his arm. I think he's a leader and he understands the game. So the cerebral side of that is definitely going to catch up to him too as well. What up, Jay-Z Sports Talk? What's up, my guy? How you doing? He said, what up, BG? Nope, Eagles needs to wait and see if Hurts has improved as a passer, and see if he can do more than just take off running. I saw him grow last season towards the end, but that was against bad defenses. Okay, and that's fair. I respect that. You seen him grow. It's against bad defenses, but I think the process really didn't have. Uh, I'm not saying don't have anything to do with the bad defenses, but I am going to say that it was just part of the process in terms of developing throughout a season. Every game a quarterback should be getting better no matter who you're playing. We both played football before. It doesn't matter who you're playing. Like you can have your best game against the hardest defense. Even in that game, what was it, the Denver game, I think, where he ran for all those yards. He didn't have that many passing yards, but he still scored touchdowns and did his part. Like it's development, it's growth, it's one game at a time getting better. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree that we played weaker teams at the end of the season, but I will also say that I just think that was just part of his whole development. Nick Sirianni stunted that in the beginning by not having a complete game plan going into those first 7 games of the season. Not running the football. That stunted his growth. Jalen was never supposed to come out the gate throwing 40 touchdowns. I think we all knew that last year. I think, that was too much for anybody, first year starting to go out there and perform at a high level. So, once Nick understood that we had to run the ball first to set up the pass, I think there was games where Jalen had low overall total yards, for the game, but the throws he made in that game, that's where I seen it develop him. We seen him stepping up in the pocket. We seen him hitting open receivers. We're seeing all this stuff, from him at the end. Now that it didn't show up that much on the stats, but it showed like just with the eye test, you seen him make everything and adjust as the season progressed. So I do agree that, he does need to improve in those areas, but I think every quarterback does their first year starting. So I think this year we see a whole nother Jalen Hurts. What up, Coach John Tation? Thanks for stopping by, my guy. Nice to see you. He says, I'm not saying Hurts is not the guy, but you can't jump the gun and tie him to a contract before you see him this upcoming season. What's wrong with waiting until the end next season to see? There's nothing really wrong with that. What I would say is you wait to the end of the season and what if Jalen Hurts has the season that I think he can have? Me, Team Hurts all day, think he's the best, one of the best QBs in the game. What if he has that MVP season? That's what I would say to that. What if he does lead us to a 14-3 record and he's in MVP, MVP candidate. He's Pro Bowler, first team All Pro. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but what if it does happen? Now you're sitting there, the Eagles having to pay him $45-50 million a year, as opposed to signing them a little early, having faith with him. You've already showed all off season you have faith in the guy. So go ahead and give him that $35-40 million extension now before he proves it. So once he's proven, you're still getting him at a discounted rate for the next couple of years. Is how I see it. But let me know if I'm wrong. I think that's just a smarter move. How he's done it with players before, and I don't think Jalen's any different. He said, I mean, we can blame the coaches, but how many throws we see him miss pretty bad also. That's not coaching. That's him needing to learn how to be a better passer. And I agree. He does need to be a better passer. I'm not saying I'm denying that at all. I agree with that 150%. He does need to become a better passer. But I'm just saying that the progression of that happens over the games played. It's not something that you're like gonna jump into the league and just be like, oh, here I go. You don't know what it was going on in his head, what he's seen on some of these passes, and some of those throws he need to tighten it up. But we already seen this offseason him go out there. You hear the coaches, staff, you hear the players all say that he's throwing a better ball this year. So obviously he knows what he needs to work on as well, and he's trying his hardest to work on it. So we gotta get sometimes you just gotta give him the benefit of doubt to save you money in the long run. Imagine that if he does have an MVP type season, man. You're telling me that he won't get $50 million the way the quarterback market is sky rising. That would be horrible for our team in general. It's not good to if you don't win a Super Bowl in that period before you give that big contract. It's not good to give that top 5 money to a quarterback because that's breaking your team. I know, salary cap will go up, but that's a huger blow to the growth of this football team. Imagine saving $10 million for doing it just a little earlier. And that's all I'm gonna say about that one. Like It is a risk, but like even Lane Johnson said, it takes these quarterbacks 2-3 years. So, he's in his third year, second year starting, and let's see what he do. We'll be able to tell if Jalen Hurts is that guy. I feel like we already seen he is that guy. We just want more proof. We're just not 100% satisfied with it. But yet we see all these lists come out all off season long, how the Eagles top 10 this, top 10 that, top 10 this, top 10 that. They didn't say we have a top 10 quarterback. I get you on that one. But with all the other pieces around, a complete team, that'll help Jalen Hurts as well. The defense will help get him the ball back for more possessions as well. That offense of talent, skill position was going to help him, pad those stats a little higher. So, and it's going to help him on a win total overall. There's a lot of games last year we could have won that the defense, not Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts went down and scored his touchdown he needed to score. It's the defense that led up some of those games last year. So, you look at that, even those I think it was like the 3 games early in the season, that it was the defensive reason why we lost. The San Diego game was one of them. And imagine if we won those games. And now you're looking at Jalen Hurts' first year. He's sitting here at 12-5, with even the same stats, 12-5. What do you have? 3,100 yards, 26 touchdowns. 4,000 yards, around 4,000 yards total for the year. We would have said Jalen had a way better year if we were sitting there at 12-5. So, you can look at a lot of things differently. You can look at it different ways to justify the argument, though. Is that Jalen Hurts has the talent to be a top 10 quarterback in the league. And the skill set, I agree with JC. I think the Eagles need to wait till after the season to determine that contract. Yeah. Hey, I'm not telling no one not to. I'm not saying that that's a bad way to go about it. What if Jalen, you can look at the other side of what I said, and what if Jalen does come out here and shit the bed, and plays crappy or plays the same? I don't think any young player on our team should be playing the same as they played last year. They should be 100% better this year. We should see a lot of growth in their progression from the offseason, because that means they're out there working hard at their craft to become the best player for the Philadelphia Eagles. So, yeah, what if? But I don't think there's anybody that questions the wait or pay now that really don't think that Jalen's not trying his hardest to become the best quarterback out there. I think, like Dante said, top 10 talent straight up in the league. Top 10, now. But he's 12 for me, and a lot of people 15 to 16 range, just because he has to put it all together. And that takes hard work. If we haven't seen him this offseason putting in that work, then I would be questioned too. Back in the day, we didn't really see that much out of the QBs in the offseason getting better. But Jalen Hurts has showed you that both off seasons. So, and last year I think he took a jump. He had some bad games too, but I think that he understands his flaws, and he's a leader, man. He's a born leader, and that's a huge quality that people don't really understand. Being a leader means you're gonna do everything possible to make sure you're not the weakest link on the team, and I think Jalen's taking those steps right now. He says, we can play the if game all day, though, but realistic, what if he goes out and puts the same stats up he did last year? Is that good enough for a $35-40 million contract? Yeah. Yeah, no. Stats last year, no. I would say no. I would say that. But I would just say to combat that, I just don't think if you work hard all off season long, you get better talent, you got better defense. The coaching staff's a year removed so they can understand their flaws and, correct some of those errors that they made last year. I don't think there's any way you can have those numbers again. I don't think that's a realistic thing way to look at it, because I don't think he would. I think no matter what, Jalen's numbers go up this year. Talent's there, but I'm just not rushed to pay Jalen Hurts this year. But determine if Jalen Hurts is going to be that guy or not. Yeah, it should though. But the players already said it, man. He's already that guy. You heard Lane Johnson. He told everybody, Jalen Hurts won over the team last year. We as fans, want to wait and see. But I think the organization showed this offseason, that they believe he's that guy. I think the fans are the only ones that are sitting here, and the media are the only ones sitting there. Is Jalen the guy or not? But I think the organization, I think his teammates, I think all of them. I think Jalen Hurts even knows he's that guy. moving forward. So we're the ones that's like, still hoping and waiting and seeing. I think they already know though. He said, football is not one list, man. And that was the case. Dallas would have won 20 Super Bowls by now because every team, they are top on everyone's list of talent. Yeah, that's true. Dallas does got a lot of talent over there. You know, um, they always win the paper champs awards every year. But, even to say that, it's like the list don't matter. Only way I think lists like that matters is when you're trying to evaluate a quarterback, excuse me, or a player in general. You look at his first year. What did he do this first year? He played in like what 8 games or something like that. Started four. Really, I think went 2-2. Could have went 3-1, but went 2-2. Because I don't really count the Washington game that he got pulled at halftime because he scored a touchdown right before the half, and we were already in distance. We would have won that game if Jalen Hurts kept playing. So I go 2-2, but you gotta say 1-3, technically. For the season. And then what he do? Went all off season, came back, 9-win team. That's improvement. More stats than he had the year before. So I just think the progression of the player. If the player is not progressing, then you worry about that. But I think we all know Jalen Hurts. We said it. He progressed all last year. He progressed the whole season. He got better, even through the ups and downs, things that wasn't his fault. He still got better. And no matter what, even those bad games, Jalen still put up touchdowns, still put up numbers, to try to help fight, get us back into the games. So, we almost came back in a couple of those games last year. Can you believe it's 36 days until the preseason? What's up, Roger? Man, I'm ready for it. I want to see it. I'm ready for the preseason. It's coming fast. The USFL. How do you guys feel about the USFL championship? It's Birmingham, where I'm at right now, against Philadelphia. I was like, that's a great championship. If it was still here, I definitely would be at the game. But they say they're going to have it in Canton, Ohio. So I don't know if I'm going to make that trip. But yeah, it's coming fast, man. The season. That's what I'm saying. Everybody just needs to start getting pumped up. We need to be pumped up. We need to give this team the energy that they deserve this year. It's not about what we believe. It's about does the team deserve. We need to stop picking individual players to critique and start thinking about the team as a whole. The Philadelphia Eagles as a whole. We have one of the best rosters in the NFL. We are top 5 NFC, and I believe that we're a top 10 overall team this year going into the season. We are not in this position all the time. We need to take advantage of this time and root for our team that we believe will make some noise this year, in this up and coming season. So I just really want. I've been saying it all off season. We need to get behind this team. It's how he went out there and made the moves that we need to make to complete this team. The pieces to the puzzle that we didn't have last year that still got us 9 wins, and know that we got those pieces this year, and we definitely 9 wins, man. If we the floor is 12 wins this year. The floor is 12. That's how good of a roster we have. Yes, they got to put it together, but the floor, I'm saying it now, is 12 wins. Anything less than that is a failure for all the work that Howie put into this offseason, the draft, free agency, and trades. And that would be a waste of a season. To come back and go 9-8 again, that would be absolutely trash. Trash. Somebody would need to get fired. Somebody would need to not get a contract. Jalen Hurts, if he's the problem. Nick Sirianni, if he's the problem, then you start putting him on the hot seat. Steichen does not scheme up great plays this season. You need to put him on fire him and get a new offensive coordinator in there, because you have way too much talent on this roster to win less than 12 games. And that's what, bad things happen. I know, unless the injury bug comes through and just wipes out our team like it did a couple years back, I don't expect anything less than 12. What up, Sports with a Comma? How are you doing today? Everybody hit that like. Much love to all you guys. He goes, why would the Eagles sign him early where you can get the same quarterback or even better in the draft, though? That's cap. But I respect your opinion, but I think that's cap. Just like they said that this year. Y'all act like y'all didn't remember people saying that this year. Oh, should the Eagles use one of the, Use the 2 picks to move up in the draft, get a quarterback. Even though it was a bad quarterback draft, there was like one of these quarterbacks can be just as good as Jalen or better. Even Mac Jones. Mac Jones had a great year for his first year, but he wasn't better than Jalen Hurts. You can't replace time. This is 3 years, 2 years in the same system. You're not going to draft not one quarterback in next year's draft that's going to come in here. We're going backwards if Jalen's not the guy. Let's just say that. Not one of them are going to come here and make our team. Oh, wow, we got the missing piece, the quarterback piece, and now we're going to go win the Super Bowl. Not one of those quarterbacks next year. It takes time to understand defenses in the league. It takes time to understand, how to become a leader. There's a lot of things, intangibles that it takes to. That's why there's not very many, first year quarterbacks that come bring the team to stardom. I'm not saying that's never been done before, but that's not a likely scenario. And I don't believe any quarterback in the draft next year can come in and just take us to that next level. Jalen Hurts is the best option moving forward. Let's see where we at. Where we at? I'm down here. He got his last 6 games. He was on a decline. He was also hurt for those games. You forget about that. His decline in play went when his ankle got messed up last year. But he was tough. He could have not played. He could have said, "I'm going to sit this out so I can come back next year and be better." You guys got Gardner. Go ahead and do it. The team could have told him, "Hey, sit it out." If they didn't think he was doing better, sit it out. Let Gardner get some PT in here. See if we can win some game. If we lose some, we'll come back to you. No, he said he wanted to play. He went out there and gutted it out. He didn't play to the best, but he had some moments in those last 6 games. He didn't lose them, and we went to the playoffs. So that's all that really matters at the end of that day. It's 6 or 4 of his last games decline. But yeah, that's the 4 games I was talking about when he hurt his ankle. You're right on that. The funny thing, if Hurts only lays or plays the same as he did last year, he could still be great because he has AJ Brown. Will slowly move up and down the field with him, and our defense will keep us in it. Yeah, that's true too. We'll still win some games. That's what I'm saying. Like the floor is 12 wins. I think, with the talent we added to this roster, we should definitely win 12, even if Jalen did have the same amount. But the point that he was talking about earlier was, do you think that the same stats would get him that $35-40 million contract? Now, I think he can get a $30 to $35 million contract if he came back the same way we win more football games and go a little farther in the playoffs with similar stats. I don't want him being the same at all or nothing. I don't want to see the same Jalen Hurts. I want to see a developed Jalen Hurts. A better version of Jalen Hurts come out on the field this year. I don't want to see the same. I think he's better than that. I think our team is better than that, and I don't think there's any way. Just with the talent alone that we added, there's no way that Jalen Hurts can have the same numbers. You can't have a backup quarterback save your job. He needs to play 17. Facts. And you're right about that. But you can have a backup quarterback come save you. They did it for Carson Wentz. Carson's second year, MVP type season. Gets hurt. Nick Foles comes in, wins a Super Bowl. Nick Foles no world beater. He's a great backup. He's no starting quarterback, and we all know that. Nick knows that. He just been collecting checks at different teams. But he knows that. And then what do we do after he wins the Super Bowl? We gave Carson his money. So you can do it that way. You can have a backup come save your job and you still get paid. That's definitely possible. It happened to us not that long ago. He says, I think his numbers go up because his attempts were increased with weapons. Facts. And I don't even know how much more his attempts will increase, but I will say the production from his attempts will increase. Having a guy like AJ Brown, you only have to throw that ball 5, 10, 15, 10, 15 yards that he can take to the house. He's a big physical running back type receiver. So his weapons are going to be more open this year. And as long as they catch the football this year, like catching the football has been a problem for the Eagles for a while now. The drops, we've been high on the drops for a while. So I'm hoping these guys. I know Devontae Smith can catch the football. He started out last season with the drops just a little bit. I know freaking AJ can catch the ball. I know Quest can catch the ball now. Him understanding the game a lot more this year. He'll be able to find these guys a lot faster, get the ball out of his hand a lot faster than he did last year. And I think that's the real reason his numbers do increase. It's going to increase because he's just overall a better quarterback than he was last year. He understands the NFL that much more than last year. So even if he had the same amount of attempts, he will have more completions, more touchdowns, more everything because, Quez is getting better. Probably got better this offseason. Devontae Smith got better this offseason. And A.J. Brown, you see his hype video, boy. He is ready to prove to the league that he is a top 5, top 10 receiver in the NFL. And I think he can do it. I really think we got the best trio I can ever think of as an Eagle. I know everybody want to go to the Macklin, the Sean days, the T.O. days, but those are like one person really good. Like we got 2 number ones right now. And then Quez Watkins is, uh, if he makes that jump from last year, he's definitely a solid number 2. So you got 1A, 1B, and a number 2. There's not that many teams that have that. And for the Eagles, we ain't never had that really like that. We had a possession guy, a really good guy, and then want to move the chain type receiver like when we had Avant and stuff like that. So I think we had the best receiving core going into this season, and we're gonna see a huge difference in the way the ball's caught this year. I don't think we're gonna have as many drops this year. I think they're gonna be a lot on the same page, and I think we're gonna see a better offense this year as a whole. He's a guy who got a lucky chance. Jalen hasn't taken over this division. That is a must. Um, See, I don't know what you're talking about because we swept Washington and we swept New York. Yeah, we got swept by the Cowgirls, but everybody know you don't really put stock in that first game. And then you can say, "Oh well, Dax beat them the last 3 times." The Cowboys beat the Eagles the last 3 times. They outplayed us. Our coach was outcoached that first game. We didn't even run the ball that first game last year, so you can't really put that all because you look at the one we lost last year, the year before last when he threw that deep bomb to D Jackson the first play. That was awesome, but you can't really put stock in that in terms of the division because we swept the division last year. So except for the Cowboys, so I think everybody just want to see us beat the Cowboys so bad that they put that on Jalen Hurts, and I don't think that should be on Jalen Hurts. That should be on the whole team, because they all look like ass out there. So, organization was looking for another quarterback all offseason, BG. That's why fans are 50-50 on Hurts. We have to just go into the season with excitement and just wait and see if Hurts and his team can. And this team can. I don't really think we were as hard as everybody think it is. I think a lot of that was smoke this offseason. I think they knew last year. And to be honest, the exiting meeting, if you guys go back and go check out Howie Roseman and his exit meeting when he did with Nick Saran, he told you guys then every team's going to look at every quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It happens every year. When we had Carson Wentz, when we had a quarterback, they still go out and look at other players. It's their job. That's what they get paid to do. Did that mean that they didn't already have a plan for Jalen Hurts? No. He went out and got his best friend, brought him to the team. He went out and added a better pieces on the defense to have a better overall team. You showed a lot of faith in this guy. You know, and you made a lot of big time moves that showed you that they finally believe in you. You don't do this for a guy you're still trying to figure out on. You know what I'm saying? You don't go stack this team up the way you do. They did this offseason. If you didn't believe that Hurts can take you to the promised land, there's no rebuild, there's no retool. That was last year. And I think that's what's wrong with a lot of Eagle fans. They're still stuck on last year. And that people from last year were stuck on the year before when we only had 4 wins. They don't realize that the Eagles, we win football games over here. That's what we do. Now, Super Bowls, that's another story. But then you look at it too. There's still teams that haven't even won Super Bowls. We got one. We got championships and we got a Super Bowl. So, but overall, in a since the 2000, we're a winning football team. We go to the playoffs like every year. You know, it's like that's what we do in Philadelphia. So I really think that they proved that they are trying to go back to the playoffs. They proved they are trying to get deep into the playoffs, if not win a championship year this year with the moves they made this year. And guess what? We still got a month or two till the season. We still got like 3 more months before that even starts. So there's still moves to be made. I'm pretty positive Howie's going to be looking at all those moves. But to say that, they're looking at quarterbacks. Every team looks at quarterbacks. You know this, my guy. Hot take from Birdman 951. If Jalen does not beat the Cowboys this season, he's not the guy. Book it. Okay, how about this? Let me give you this analogy, Birdman. If Jalen, say the Eagles get swept by the Cowboys again this year. Let's just say that, But the Cowboys only got a 9-win season. We get swept by the Cowboys, but Jalen goes 14-3, MVP type candidate. You can't say that. The Cowboys is one team. I'm not even worried about our division. I think the division has been sewn up from the moves we made, and you might as well, even if they were to split with us this year, I still think we got the division on lock. Like division games are crazy. Sometimes the worst team beats the better team. That's always possible, but I am not riding anything if Jalen Hurts to this football team that has anything tied to do with the Cowgirls. I refuse. We've been better than them. We've been better than the Cowgirls for a while. Come on now. Regardless if they beat us in the regular season or not, if they win division championship every now and then or not, we're a better organization. When we go to the playoffs more, we have more winning records. That makes you the better team. We have the most recent Super Bowl. Well, we've been in the playoffs the last 4 out of the last 5 years. Come on now. Our team is definitely better than those guys. But I'm not tying anything about our achievements with the Cowboys. That's just something I can't do. Achieve the impossible. Yes, that's what Jalen's going to do this year. Birdman said, "What's up?" Yeah, he said he want to link up soon. We all need to get. I want to get a roundtable with you guys, especially you guys. You know what I'm saying? We need to definitely do some work. You know what I'm saying? If we can get on here and talk some Jalen Hurts, I got his back 100%. And I don't just talk just to be a fan. I try to be reasonable about what I say. Like I try to come with facts and along with my opinion. So difference of opinion don't mean we not behind the team. Yeah. Oh no, it doesn't mean that you're not behind the team. To be honest, the aggressive approach to how there is such a split with Jalen Hurts, it's because people want to see the team win. Regardless if they like Jalen Hurts or not, they still want the Philadelphia Eagles to be the best team. It's just their opinion on the quarterback. Is he the quarterback to get us to that next level? Or, do we need another quarterback to get to that next level? So I don't know. I'm not saying you're not behind a team. I'm just saying, like, I feel like we spend so much time, finding reasons not to be great. And then we don't realize that on paper, I know, but we're not usually the paper champions. It's usually the Cowboys with that. On paper, we are a legit football team that we should definitely be excited about and think is going to disguise the limits for this season. Like it's just one of those teams, when you got that roster, it's like, we can do it this year. We can do it this year for sure. Okay, BG, take off the Eagles glasses. Wait, take off the Eagles glasses off and criticize Hurts real quick and be brutally honest. Go. Okay. You want me to criticize Hurts? Jalen Hurts is not the best passer and will never, ever have a top 5 quarterback's arm in his career. That's a brutally honest. He's not going to be Aaron Rodgers with the ball, Peyton Manning with the ball, a Tom Brady with the ball. Some of these young quarterbacks, Burrow with the ball, passing wise. He never will be that, but he will still be a great quarterback. I'm never going to take away that dual threat as long as he can keep that. Some of the best quarterbacks, when they tried to change up that dual threatness, that's when their stats went down. That's when they didn't play as good. So I think he's going to be, an awesome quarterback, but I will say that he will never be elite passer of the football. He's going to be a good to great passer of the football, but you don't need to have an elite arm for that. We looked at who has the most yards right now. Drew Brees, right? Drew Brees, I think it is, or did Tom Brady take that over? But Drew Brees or Brady. Drew Brees didn't have the best arm. Sean Payton schemed up everything for him. It changed his whole career. You know, a lot of this, like, that's why I put the most pressure on our coaches. It's up to the coaches to make these players great. We got the talent. Everybody that goes to the pros really got talent. Some players get blackballed out. Some players are behind great players and never see the field, you know, as much as they need to. They lose confidence and whatnot. But this year's coming up. It's all the pressures on the coaches. Howie says, here you go. You wanted a team. I seen your weaknesses, and I got you players to fill those holes. So now go win me a championship. And I think that's what we're going to be in that talk this year for sure. Yeah, yep, that's a fact. Everybody has a title for their own opinion. It doesn't mean people are not behind the team. You just want to see more out of this team. Yeah, you do. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, you just want to see your team be great. We criticize a lot of players. There's a lot of players that, a lot of my other Eagle content creators like that I'm not that big on. They're people for TJ Edwards. I see people saying TJ Edwards is going to be a top 5 linebacker this year. But I'm like, I want to see TJ Edwards be the 4th linebacker off the bench where he's going to get some playing time. But I already feel like I know his ceiling. I want to see N'Kobe Dean take that role and be the man, and be great, So, yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see. And there's nothing wrong with your own opinion. That's the fun thing about life. We all have our own opinions and they're all valid. Dun, dun, dun. So I just want to see the team on the field. I don't know if Jalen is the guy. He has top 10 talent. This team has a talent. Has a talent on paper, but I got to see it on the field. Yeah, you got to see it on the field. That's truth. That's 100% facts. Dream team. Remember that? Remember the dream team? Yeah, you don't see it on the field. It's hard to think, you're going to get fooled again by these players and what they say. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of that, did you guys see Miles Sanders? He said that the guys on the football team this year feel like they're playing on an all-star team. An all-star team. The guys on our team this year, per Miles Sanders, are saying that they feel like they are on an all-star team. And they are very excited about this season. When you got all your elite players and they feel like they know that they have a talent on a team that's really special, that they got the talent that could really do damage this year, that is awesome to hear how they are that confident. Because a lot of people don't like confidence because, like you say, a lot of people want to see it before you talk about it. But I love the swag. I love the charisma. I love the freaking machismo that this football team has, man. Like, they know that they want to be great. We just seen N'Kobe Dean say he wants to win a couple of championships for the Philadelphia Eagles. He want to bring rings to Philly. He don't want to just win one. He want to bring rings to Philly, and they know that they have the team to do it. And I don't think there's anybody in this locker room that is thinking, oh, we got time. I think they all are in that win now mode, which they all should be. Win now. This is the time to do great things. Like that, Nick Foles is a backup quarterback. He's not a starting caliber quarterback. Yeah, he's not. No, but Carson was the reason why we was in position to make the run to the Super Bowl, and he's about to win an MVP that season. That's why he got paid. No, but I was just talking about how, a backup quarterback had to come in and save him to win that Super Bowl. We got in position, but imagine if Nick Foles flames out, it'd been more pressure on his injury, Okay, you got hurt now. Can you do it again? And as we've seen every year after that, he couldn't do it again. So I don't know if the Eagles would have paid him. I think it'll be a different dynamic. No, we lost to the Giants and got swept by Dallas. Second time we beat the Giants and swept the Washington. Oh yeah, we did lose that one game to the Giants. I forgot when Rager didn't catch that ball. But yeah, we know we should have won that game. Those type of games, come on now. You know we should have won it. There's 3 touchdowns dropped at the end of that game. So 3 touchdowns dropped. That was our game. What up, Jinx? I know I'm far behind these comments. Sorry about that, guy. Once I get to talking, you know, I forget about the comments for a little bit. He said Howie wasn't looking for another quarterback after Wentz first or second year. Once Howie couldn't get another quarterback, then he decided to build around Jalen Hurts. Let's be real. I think Howie was looking at quarterbacks. I think Howie looks at quarterbacks every single year. Every year. You guys don't remember? We are a quarterback factory. We will continue to look at quarterbacks every single year in the draft and bring them through our system. That's what Howie said. So that's why I say Howie's always looking at quarterbacks. Always. And yes, he didn't after the first year because we drafted him with a first round pick. That was the plan. And we desperately needed a quarterback then. So we all thought Carson was going to be that guy. He says, we need a quarterback. Facts. No, we don't. The Eagles were 3-3 last year. They lost to my Giants and got swept. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah. We don't need a quarterback. Facts. We don't need one. If we get a quarterback, we'll go to the Super Bowl. Come on, Jinx. We got a quarterback already. You always doing that. You be riding the fence when it comes to Jalen Hurts. Our Gravy said Jalen ain't it. He will be benched by week 6. Whoa. Week 6? That's crazy. That's all cap. Cap. That is one of the hugest caps. That'd be horrible. That means the Eagles are playing at a horrible rate through 6. Jalen will be great, and it starts this year. I think everybody, like I said, like how do you win the year? Like everybody last year said this about him. How this is his prove it year. Then everybody say he proved it, but now it's like this is his prove it year all over again. He proved it, it's over. Now it's time for growth. Now it's time for improvement. That's the next. That's the next step of the process. Like he's already proved that he deserved to be the quarterback of this football team. He just has to prove that he can be getting better every single year to become better and help push his team to even farther and more wins than he did last year. He said, I love Hurts' escapability in the pocket. And remember how Dak improved dramatically with Amari Cooper in the offense. I think Hurts will do the same. And that's 100% fact. Dak lovers out there, he was definitely not playing at a high level before they got, that was the Zeke Elliott show, before they got Amari. And it's not just Dak. You can go down the list of every quarterback. I won't even say Josh Allen, the huge reason why he got went up on his team because he ended up getting Diggs. What other quarterbacks? Joe Burrows did better because he got his best friend Jamar Chase. He had 2 good receivers. Like these guys get better when you add better talent around. I kept telling people that it's not that our receivers were all so trash. It's just they were all first and second year receivers. Like you got to have a veteran stud in there somewhere. You're trying to really build an offense that's going to be scary. But I do think getting a guy like AJ Brown, who is still young but talented, we definitely going to get. Woo, all those numbers are increasing this year. There's no doubt about that. Like, when you add talent, look at the years every time the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, NFC Championship back to back, it took for them to go out there and sign a guy like Terrell Owens, who's the elite receiver, before they went over the hump and actually made it to the Super Bowl. So that's what it is. Talent wins football games at the end of the day. That's what wins football games. Not anything else but talent and good coaching, actually. That's what wins football games. Individual players don't win or lose football games. They can win or lose a football game, but that's not what you're talking about when you're talking about winning a Super Bowl. That has to do with coaching and talent. The more talent you have on your team, a la Rams last year, they kept getting better as the season went along. Von Miller midway, OBJ midway, and they had a good team. You know, they had a good team. They kept getting, and it started a couple years back when they first went all in on getting Ramsey to help out that defense. And then you get a guy, they had who they have on that defensive line last year too. It wasn't just Von Miller. They had like 4 guys in that defensive line. So Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when they won the Super Bowl, they got, Gronk. They brought AB there. They got Tom Brady there. They had Leonard Fournette they brought in. You know what I'm saying? They built a talented roster. That's the only way you're going to win Super Bowls in this era of football. If you don't have a talented roster, all that, oh, we run a good scheme stuff, that'll help get you some wins. That ain't winning no Super Bowl. Your whole roster has to be loaded with good coaches. You need both sides. You need good coaches and talent. If you look up multiple football scouts, everyone says Nakobe Dean is the smartest player in the draft. Facts, he's a super smart player. And I don't understand how people don't understand that this man will be starting by week 3. I think so. I think if they want, I think even in the preseason, they might have Edwards as a starter, but he will win over that spot by week 3. That's just a feeling I got. Said Nakobe Dean plays with leverage and is extremely smart. Now think of underrated Jacquet Tart, who is an elite at stopping the run and underrated in pass coverage. Pass blockers. Underrated pass blocker. Yeah. Tart, I like Tart. Like, I watched him play some good football, man. Tart can play football. That's for sure. A smart guy with like Dean, Tart. Like, I really feel like our team's complete. The weak spots, are they like weak enough to say that it's going to actually affect the offense or the defense? No. But are those players in that weak spot like a Tart, like a Epps, like a Kayvon? You know what I'm saying? If are these players that bad to where they're going to affect this defense? No. But if they decide to play up, to their potentials, like Tart at one point was good enough to be a Pro Bowler. I think he was a Pro Bowler, I think. Something like that. I know he was really good. Like, I remember I've been watching Tart with the Niners for a while, so he's a good one. What happened if one of these guys have a Pro Bowl year because their job's easier? You got all these elite players around me. Who else is there to make the play? Everybody else is getting schemed up. People aren't even worried about you. You should play the most free on the team. Are the players that are underrated at the positions that everybody think are garbage? Miles Sanders, even Miles Sanders. You never hear anybody say Miles Sanders is a top 10, top 15 running back. I don't see nothing say nothing. Eagles, I know we're the number 1 rushing team as a whole. Jalen Hurts is the number 1 rushing quarterback, but you don't hear about our running backs as a group being the top anything. But I think that adding AJ Brown, who is an awesome run blocking receiver, and adding talent to this line, adding depth to the line, adding, you having Goddard start from the jump this year instead of playing second fiddle to Zach Ertz again starting the season. So he's a better run blocker. So I think the sky's the limit for Miles Sanders. He can have a huge year this year. Chris R in the building. What's up, my guy? How you guys doing today? How you doing today, my guy? What up? Prime Sports. Later, JC, with that, yeah, let me know when you free that up, my guy. I know you've been busy doing your thing, but as soon as you are ready, we are going to get back on here and talk some Eagles football, my guy. That is 100. What up, Kevin Thomas? He says, what is our weakest group, in my opinion? I think it's easily the safety spot. The other safety. I'm big on Harris. Like, I think Harris started to play a little bit better towards the end of the season. I think he had an injury towards the middle in there somewhere where it was like, he was playing, but he wasn't playing at a high level. I think towards the end, you start seeing the old Harris come out. He started, deflecting more plays, laying more hits, being a more productive safety back there. So I think a healthy offseason, another year in the scheme, understanding the system, Harris should be a pretty good safety, but that other position, that other straight safety, I think it's a strong safety. That's the spot, man. Tart, are you gonna be, who we think you are? Are you gonna, project to be the starter this year? Are you gonna let one of these young, unproven guys come in and take that spot? I think we signed him to start. We're hoping he starts. But we're kind of hoping these other guys, win that job over. Like Epps had a great year last year. I'm not the hugest Epps fan because I think you see his ceiling, but who's to say that he can't prove me wrong and be one of the best safeties in the league? We don't know this. Those players are young at that position. So we were smart by getting the veteran to throw back there in the mix. But I'm really hoping one of these young guys come through. But I'm gonna have to say that other safety spot is definitely the weakest position. Hands down. If I had to go after that, then I think the rest of our team's pretty solid. Like you can say running back because it's good to have two elite running backs just as well as it's good to have three, good receivers. So I think Miles Sanders is a super stud, can be a top 10 running back if he puts it all together and stays healthy for a whole year. But it's always good to have a 1-2 punch. I like what Cleveland does over there with Hunt and what's his name? Chubbs, Hunt and Chubbs. I love what they're doing over there. I think that is a winning formula when you can run the ball like that. If we had another, like if we can trade, if there's one more move the Eagles could do this year, I would say go out there and trade Cleveland. Trade Cleveland to get Hunt over here to Philadelphia. I think Hunt would be a perfect complement to Miles Sanders. And then you have Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott helping up to clean up work. That'd be an amazing backfield. Dean might start next year, but not this year. He's extremely smart and instinctive, but was the least physically talented linebacker on that Georgia team. Yeah, but that doesn't matter because he's not as physical. I think this offseason he's probably getting bigger now. If you've seen Jordan Davis, and Jordan Davis already lost 20 pounds, 20 plus pounds, what makes you think that Dean's not in there getting stronger? I promise you, the boy's still strong. Doesn't matter how tall he is. He's still strong. He's an athlete, and even being the least physically talented linebacker on that Georgia team, he still was the best linebacker in college football last year. No one can take that away from the guy. How you can say that he's the least physical, but he's the best linebacker just because obviously the smarts outweigh the strength because he was the best linebacker on the team last year. The whole team tells you that he was. So I don't know. I still think that Dean, there's been a lot of great smaller linebackers in the league. It doesn't really matter the strength. Do you know how to shed a block? Can you read the diagnose the play before it happens? Those are things that he's really good at. And I think having a defensive line that he has in front of him, he should be clean a lot of the time. So I do believe that Dean has enough physicality to be playing at a high level this year. And what's a whole difference a year make? If it's not the speed of the game, the intelligence, then why would it take the whole year before we actually see him playing good? Think it's gonna take a year for him to get bigger? He's not gonna grow that much bigger in size. This offseason be long enough of working out, getting in shape with trainers, getting your body right to be in a position to be strong enough to play, or you're strong as you're gonna be until next year. So I just think that's one. I think Dean's perfectly fine and he's gonna do a great job. But yeah. He said, let's see if he can get off blocks and let's see. Let's see. I hope he can. I know he can. But I just feel like I said, it comes back to our defensive line. Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox. Look at the people that's going to be in front of him. Hargraves, Milton Williams, Marlon. It's like you got a lot of big boys in front of you. A lot of big boys that can keep you clean. You know what I'm saying? Like if you had like a normal side defensive lineman in that middle, normal size players, like yeah, they can get blocked into you. But when you're talking about no one's gonna be pushing Jordan Davis around, no one's gonna be pushing Fletcher Cox around. Now, no one really pushes Hargraves around. Like these are big, talented people. These are Pro Bowlers. And I know not Jordan Davis, we just got him, but I'm saying like Fletcher Cox, Hargrave. These are Pro Bowl defensive linemen. You got some of the best at their positions. I doubt that he's really gonna not be clean. Like I see him being clean all the time with his instinctiveness. If you can diagnose the play fast, you'll get there before they can even get to that double team. So, and that's what I expect to see him do because I seen him do it in college, and that's why he won the award of being the best linebacker. But I know everybody have their doubts. It's always like I said that's the thing. I feel like everybody have their doubt about certain players, but it's like there's room to argue it all the time. We got to go up and down this whole roster and tell you can diagnose AJ Brown as awesome as how great we think he can be. There's still flaws to his game. He's still a young player getting better. Same way with Smitty. Same way with Quest. You can go talk about Goddard. You can talk about the linemen. You know, you can talk about Landon. You can talk about Mailata still not being completely, technically sound. But his size, helps him with that advantage. So, I just think we can always dig into players, but this roster right here this year is not one of those rosters. I think we should just be 100% on board, and telling everybody out there that you better watch out because the Philadelphia Eagles about to win some football games. We're going to the promised land this year. Eagles don't play their defense for the linemen to just take up blocks like Georgia did. I don't know about that. I think they have a rush defense, and no matter what, when you got big physical linemen like those guys, they're gonna take the blocks. What are you talking about? Like Fletcher Cox was double teamed most of you. That's taking up the block. When you get double teamed and you can stand your ground, that's two people blocking you. That means there's a hole still there to fill. I think that our defensive line is the reason why he will be, because you're going to have to double team. Imagine if you had Fletcher Cox and Jordan Davis in the middle of your defense, and you're telling me that in that situation, in the 4-3 set, that you don't think Dean would be free, in that set, who's going to move Jordan Davis and Fletcher Cox? If you got to double team both of them, that's 4 out of 5 linemen. Who's going to block the ends? Who's going to block anybody else? That's your main support system be right there in the middle. He should be flying free all the time. Anywhere he want to go, Dean or whatever linebackers back there should be able to do what the hell they want. BG, Sweat, even Barnett's a good run stopping defensive lineman. So, I think our linebackers are going to be pretty clean most of the year. That's just my opinion, though. He says, let's talk receiver. You have Brown and Smitty that are locks, but then after that, Quez will be there. But after that, who do you keep? Who do you cut? Pascal Hightower, Devin Allen, Rager, and then that Covey guy, right? Yeah, Devontae's lock for sure. I think Quez should be locked into that 3 spot. So it should be AJ, Devontae, Quez. Pascal's a lock because we just got him. I think he's a big body, possession type receiver that can help this offense develop to a higher level. So I'm going Pascal would be number 4. After that, if we end up keeping Rager and not trade him the rest of this offseason, I think Rager's your number 5. And I think that'll be a good spot for him to rotate in at, so he can start making plays and building his confidence up, because he won't be going against any of the top, DBs. He'll be going against, third corners and linebackers and whatnot like that. So I think you got to keep, if we don't trade Rager, it'll be Rager. And then after Rager, I really like Devin Allen's potential. So I would love to see him make the roster or Covey. So on this list, if I had to cut anybody from the list you just gave me, I'll cut Covey. I know he's not on the list. Dante Hightower, I don't know where you've been or what you were doing in the last year. So I can't really say or not if you're going to come in this year and do anything. So he'll be a cut candidate. Rager's always a cut candidate. If he can't get out of his own way, you can go ahead and cut ties with him. But the four solid ones, I say, if the Eagles were to keep 4 receivers: Pascal, Quez, AJ, Devontae, and then I say like a guy like Devin Allen as a project or a return man. That'd be 5 receivers. And we'll see with the other guys. Who knows? We might get another one to add to the list. He said, Sports King, what's up? He said, look, the bottom line is the same people Dean played against in college are the same players in the pros he will be playing against. So Dean will be fine. Yes, that is thank you for coming with that one. I should have said that. That's good. That is so true. The same people that this man was playing against in college, he playing against in the pros. The pros, the stars are usually the best college players. So I do believe it's the same. I feel like he's on a better defense. I know Georgia had a lot of first round talent, but I feel like the defense he's on now, come on now. The Eagles' defense this year is legit. Way better than Georgia's defense. I think the Eagles are going to be one of them teams that look like Georgia and Alabama does in college this year. He says the realism excludes from your pores. I appreciate that. It's crazy. People think all these Georgia players are going to be great. I can't say all of them, Gridiron. I only think off that Georgia team that you're looking at projecting to the NFL being a great really is Dean and Davis. And I never thought we were going to get both of them. But the fact that we got both of them, I think we got the 2 ballers from that team. Defensive line and linebacker. He said if Dickerson and Kelsey would double team Davis, they would drive him 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. No, I don't agree with that. I think if Dickerson and Mailata were to double team Davis, they'll push him 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. But I'm not saying they can't either. 2 men over 1, that's more weight. That's more, that's logic. But in terms of like we've seen him fight off triple teams from Alabama, and Alabama had I'm pretty sure they had a first round defensive lineman this year, if not a couple of first round defensive linemen. So those big boys that play in Alabama, we watched them, take double teams from those guys. I mean, triple teams from those guys. So if 3 of those guys can't move them 5 yards down the field, it's just telling you that it's going to be hard for 2 of those guys. And that's when he was 360. So I know he weighed a little bit more, but 3 people, less athletic, less strong. Dave is already telling he feels like this is the strongest he's ever been in his life. And it's logical because the boy was really young, 20 years old or something like that? Yeah, it should be the strongest year. You're still growing, my guy. You haven't even hit your full man body. And he's already lost 30 pounds since the national championship. And he's already ripped, cut, slimmed up, more athletic, bigger, faster, stronger. They're going to have to worry about him more than he'll have to worry about the lineman. I tell you that much. The lineman will be trying to figure out ways to stop his big ass from hitting their quarterback more than Jordan Davis will worry about. Can these guys stop me from penetrating? I tell you, that's what I'll say about that one. I think Davis is a tank, and he's gonna freaking raise hell on that defensive line. Jordan Davis gas tank is an issue. I think he played as much as he needed to play in Georgia. You gotta realize when you play on Alabama and Georgia, like you gotta realize most of your star players from Alabama and Georgia does not play as many snaps as a star player off of any other team. Those teams blow teams out in the first quarter, first halves of games. Like no one plays that much when you're stars on teams like that. That's just a fact. Like they put up big numbers in like small increments of time. That's what makes them so elite. But no one really freaking plays that much when you're on a team of that caliber. And plus, Georgia was like one of the best defenses of all time in college of all time. It's like that doesn't come from just one player. That comes from everybody on that defense being top recruits or stud at what they do. And when you're that good and you got defensive linemen that can rotate in, and like I said earlier, he weighed 360 pounds and he was in college kid. Like he didn't have to be on the field that much in Jordan. He was on there whenever it was a crucial situation. Jordan Davis was in there. If it was just some of those normal sets and fronts, yeah, Jordan Davis is getting a breather. He's 360, but he's already lost that weight. The drop 30 pounds is not easy to do, guys. It's not. Well, for a guy his size, probably it was easy in terms of his diet and exercising a little bit more, but he don't have college to worry about. He ain't got none of that to worry about. Like he said, he got a job to do that he gets paid for, and as you see in his contract, what was it, like 4 years, $17 million, and you ain't got to worry about school, work, or anything like that, anything outside of football, man, Jordan Davis is gonna be perfectly fine, and he's gonna even raise the bar. Like Jordan Davis, people don't realize he can be the next Sue, like when Sue first came out, or the next Fletcher Cox when he first came out, excited how dominant he was, or the next Aaron Donald. Like he has all their potentials in one. He has the size of a Fletcher Cox, a Via Vea, but he got the athleticism of an Aaron Donald type. So I think people are really sleeping on the impact Jordan Davis is going to have this year. That Nakobe Dean is not good at anything. The best DT is still at Georgia. Unfortunately, Jeremiah Johnson had to transfer to Florida State because they were so good. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't get that. I don't know how you can say Dean is not great at anything. You didn't think Dean was great at diagnosing plays? You're the tape guy. I watched a lot of plays on that Georgia where by the time the quarterback hiked that ball, Dean was running full steam ahead to make the play. So to say that he was not great at anything is to say that whoever gives out awards in college football or the whole nation is watching college football and know that he is a good player. Don't know what they're talking about. You don't win the award for not having any great talents. Like there's not too many linebackers. I know back in the day there probably was a couple that didn't pan out, but nowadays in modern football, if you're a top linebacker, that win that Buckets Award, you're usually doing a good job in the NFL. You look at some of the past ones, there's some of the best linebackers in the league, and not all of them are big physical linebackers. So I don't know. I guess that's one of them we're definitely going to have to see. We're going to definitely have to see. Georgia had depth, a great scheme. No one was a standout. No one was a standout? Dean was. He won the award. The whole team was a standout. What are you talking about? Like all of them were standouts. That's why they all went in the first round. They all stood out compared to the rest of the league because they knew those guys were freaking some of the best football players in college. I think Jordan Davis stood out, and he was used limitedly, sparingly. And he still stood out and became a 13 overall pick. They're standouts, baby. You can't not stand out when you're on the best team in college football. That's why all Alabama players get drafted early. They all stand out. When you're on dominating teams, you stand out. Just like if you play for, the Bucks, the Rams or the Patriots for all those years, you stood out. And a lot of those players went to other places and got contracts because they played off that team and ended up being garbage. Yes, all that stuff helped. The scheme helps. Having talent around you help. But in terms of being a standout, I think all those guys stand out. He said Rager's not getting cut, so just accept it. And I accept it. I want Rager. I think Rager's a good football player. Was he great? Was he Justin Jefferson? Should we pick him over Jefferson? Hell no. Is he great? Hell no. But is he a good football player if he can get out of his own way? I think so. I think he has enough talent to be going against the level of competition he'll have to go against once playing this year. And yeah, I think he can be a pretty good receiver. But his problem is mental. He got to get out of his own way first. If he don't ever get out of his own way, he ain't gonna ever be anything. Oh, I see that one. See if I can catch up a little bit in here. Centers and leads are great now, all of them. Yeah, I agree. But even you wouldn't have guys that are big physical guys that centers have problem with. They all tell you they still have problems with big guys, especially the smaller centers in the league. How you think Via Vea makes his paycheck, his living? Because he's a huge man with athleticism. and Jordan Davis is bigger than him. So I don't know. Even what did you see one of the best big men, and what was his name? Dang, he played on the Ravens. The big dude on the Ravens. Clayus Campbell. Clayus Campbell gave Jordan Davis love when he got drafted because he knows that he is one of the only men. That's how he's able to play so long. He played at a high level, but even his low level was still good enough to be considered a good player in the NFL for all these years because you cannot teach that kind of size and athleticism. That's huge. He's a big boy. Okay, like those things you don't teach. You can be as good as you want. You can say whatever you want. Everybody in NFL is good. You know, if you can say all the centers are good, then you gotta say that all the linemen in general are good. And that start. He said Covey is 10 times the player Allen is, and I agree with that because Covey played more recent football. But I did watch some of the Allen tape, and he wasn't that bad in Oregon. You know what I'm saying? Like he had some good catches. He had some talent, you know, and obviously he got the speed. So, you know, I think you'll be deciding do you want a bigger returner or a smaller returner? Covey's a little bit smaller, but either one of them, like I said, at that point, I don't even care who's fifth, sixth, seventh on the roster. I don't care about those people. I just don't. Like if they contribute, that's a plus. I care about the people that are dependent on game in, game out to make plays. And I want to see them guys making plays this year. Uh, don't agree with the dean coming out. All those guys will be starters. And you can't compare reps in the pros to college. Not all those guys will be starters, but a lot of them were first round pit talents. There's a lot of Georgia first round boys. You know, a lot of them were good. You know, not even just good. A lot of first rounders, you know, are good. Like look at last year, how many first round players started and made an impact. You know, at a lot of different positions. I do believe that. I agree to a point where college and college football and pro football are definitely two different levels. You know, you hear everybody talk about the speed. It speeds up a lot. The jump is a big jump, but elite players in college may usually make that jump. That's what I'll say about that. If you're elite in college, 9 times out of 10, you can be elite in the pros. You know, the mental side of it's what snags people up, not the talent. But majority, if you look at our league right now, we got a lot of young superstars, and they all were in college the same, you know, during the same time frame. You know, some of the best linemen are like second and third year players. Some of the best, you know, cornerbacks are second and third year players. Like you're playing the same people. You're playing with some of the same people. So, you know, I don't know. I just think it's the eye test. You know when you know, and if you watch tape, you know about some Davis. I mean, not Davis. If you watch tape on Dean last year, you know that that dude's a leader and that dude made plays, and that's where it ends at. You know, if he can do it there, I think we got the defensive line to make it so he can do it this year. He said Quay Walker would be the best Georgia linebacker from this draft, and that's cool. Everybody, like I said, everybody has a right to like who they want. You know, have their own. I do not disagree with that statement at all. If you believe that, then believe it. And I just prefer being an Eagles fan. I prefer Dean, and I think he will be. I think Dean's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year. To be honest, like, I think that chip that he has on his shoulder from being drafted in the third round, when you know you're a top 10, I mean a top 15 talent, woo, or at least a first round talent. I think that chip alone and his instincts and smarts, he's an engineer for Christ's sake. His intelligence and the fact that he has the hugest chip that I think he would carry till the end of time. Because not only did the Eagles pass him up twice, all 32 teams passed him twice. He watched 5 to 7 linebackers get drafted before him. He is pissed. He's like, did you guys watch college football last year? Did you not see that Georgia was the best defense, you know, in the country and probably one of the best all time? Did you not see the award that I won? You know, that I was the best linebacker in college football? But you still passed on me and draft the other guy in front of me. and you let me roll with my boy Jordan Davis. We can build something now that can last for years. Yeah. I'm putting my money down on. I'm putting my money down on Dean making that happen this year. I'm putting my money down on that. I think Dean will be the best Georgia player this year. Not even over Jordan Davis, even though Jordan's drafted higher, because he has more to worry about. He has more. There are already Pro Bowlers in front of him. So in terms of him being on the field, you can be good all you want. If Fletcher's playing at a high level and Hargrave's playing on a high level, you're just gonna get your snaps when you get them. Because there's some all pros on that line already. So he doesn't have to come in and be the best player. So I think that's why Jordan Davis will probably end up being one of the best players. College, not pros. Yeah, that's true. He said Jordan Davis does not play with leverage and power. His technique is poor. Strength means nothing. First off, when you're 6'8", 6'8" and a half with cleats on, and you're strong as an ox, that does matter at the end of the day. Leverage and technique does matter as well. But who's in front of him, like I just said? Who's in front of him to teach him this technique? Not only does he have the same defensive line coach from college that even drafted him, or not drafted him, recruited him in the first place to even go to Georgia, Rocker. You got him as your coach, so a guy that already knows about you, that know you from your high school days as your coach. But then you got Fletcher Cox, who was for a long time 1B to Aaron Donald as being the best defensive tackle in the league. 1B, Fletcher Cox. Aaron's a better pass rusher. Fletcher's a better run stuffer. You got Fletcher Cox in your face every day teaching you technique with Rocker, with, Hargrades, who's another Pro Bowl defensive tackle. You got all this knowledge inside. You don't think his technique is going to be better, than when he was 360 pounds at Georgia? I don't know about that. Went and he had to be the number one defensive lineman on his team. We didn't have no Pro Bowl defensive tackles. I think if he was a plug and play starter, he would play at a good level, but because Rocker will help him. But the fact that he doesn't have to even be the starter, and you got legit, Fletcher Cox, freaking Hall of Fame defensive tackle, in front of you, Hargrave still in the prime of his career, teaching you, I'm not worried about none of those flaws in college, man. It's like you want to compare him making the leap from college to pros, but you're not understanding the leap that the player makes when he goes to the pros. I don't think you guys understand that leap. And that's the part you guys are missing. Georgia player already came out and said it wasn't situational with it was his gas tank. He played like 30% of those staff. People obsessed with his combine, not his play. I watched some of his play, and I told you, like, everybody also said that they had the most talent on defense in college last year. And like I said, if you weigh 360 pounds, your gas tank probably is not the same as a defensive lineman or a defensive tackle that weighed 300. So yes, college player on a dominate defense, 360-pound run plugger, guy that eats up blocks, did his job, and all the crucial snaps in Georgia all last year. Anytime there was a crucial time they needed to get off the field, Jordan Davis was on that field because he's the better player. Now, like I said, the gas tank, it's a lot easier to stay on the field at 335 pounds than it was at 360. Let's say that. That's a simple form of correcting that statement. He's 360. He's a college kid at 360, and sometimes they didn't even put all. He probably could even weigh a little bit more than that at some parts of the season. So I don't know. I think that's stretching to say after you already seen, like, if he still was on the Eagles and he was still weighing, like, say he only lost 5 pounds, so he was weighing 355. That would be a huge worry for me. But the fact that from that 360 championship game to the combine, you lost 20 pounds, meaning that you already put in that work. You lost 20 pounds. And from then, he's even slimmed up from there to now. And you see his pictures on his profile. This dude is ripped. He's cut. He's not that cut. He's ripped for a 335-pound lineman. You don't see the fat sticking out, pot belly like it was in college. You don't see that gone. Even his mom said he slimmed up. People can see the slimness of him, and that's going to make him more athletic. That's going to give him a higher motor. He has professional health, trainers, that's going to help him with his diet, his workout routine, things to help him build his stamina. The Eagles didn't just go spend a first round pick on this guy and say, okay, we like what you did in college. We really have a little bit of a concern, but we're going to let you do your thing. Just know that you're a pro and go out there and play some football and do your job. No, they have people lined up ready for right after that pick. They probably gave Jordan a couple of numbers he needs to call so he can go out there and start working on his weight, start working on his explosiveness, start working on his technique, the leverage stuff that you're talking about. These are we're one of the best franchises, and it's like you're slapping us in the face by saying that you're worried about this guy's motor, like as if we're not going to do everything to make sure that is not a problem on this football team. That's what I'll say about that. It's not really about his combine. It's about him being a freak in nature, one of the biggest, most athletic defensive linemen ever to play football, ever, ever. One of the biggest. That's stuff you can't teach. That's stuff that makes you a freak of nature. That's stuff that your floor is really high just because of the fact that no matter what, you're big enough to cause a problem to the opposing offensive line. They will have to double team you. They will have to put people on you. Now, his ceiling can be greatest defensive tackle ever to play the game. That's what his ceiling can be. He could be all those players when he learns to play, but that will take time, not 1 year. So you're gonna say that about your number one pick in Jordan Davis, but you don't understand that taking time. People don't understand that taking time with Jalen Hurts. And to be dominant, yes. To be elite, yes, he might take a couple of years, but he doesn't have to step in. Like I said before, he does not have to step in and be elite for this team this year. He has Pro Bowlers ahead of him. He just has to come in, learn when his number call, make the play. Because your number's not going to get called that much when you got the likes of a Fletcher Cox or a Hargraves in front of you. And hell, even Milton Williams got a year up on him in terms of knowing the system, understanding what the system's going to ask from him. So, I think, like I said, I'm not expecting Jordan Davis to be defensive rookie of the year, but I'll say in the plays that he does play this year, he will be an impact. But I'm not saying that he's going to have starter type numbers to make a big enough impact to be like, oh, consideration for this or that. But I will say he will make a lot of big plays, and by the middle or the end of the season, he might be starting. Depending on what we want to do with Fletch. What up, Chad? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys all hit that like. That helps this content get out to, other Eagles fans, other content creators, other, people that just love talking football. That's what I love to do. I do this for you guys. It's always fun. I love the interaction in the chat. You know what I'm saying? I love everything that I do. I can be more happier with the way everything's been turning out, and continue your support. Continue sharing it out. Let's keep this train moving. We got a lot of spam in here. Damn, I'm pretty far behind. Yeah, Devin Lloyd was better in college. Wins matter a lot for those awards. Christian Harris, good, and that kid from LSU. Once those guys lost it, pretty much handed Dean the buckets. Yeah, once they lost it. I am huge, and listen, I wanted Christian Harris over Dean and Devin Lloyd. I thought Dean was a little bit on the small side of my liking. I'm not disputing that. I thought Lloyd didn't play against good enough talent. You seen why he had the numbers he had because of the inflation from the talent he had to play against. And I thought Christian Harris was like right there in the middle. He wasn't too small. He wasn't too big. He kind of was that. He kind of was a little bit of both of them in one. So I agree that, and Clark, I think from LSU, who you're talking about, yeah, I agree that these are all good linebackers. They're all good in their own right, but they're all different. They're not really comparable in terms of their skill sets. They kind of all do a little bit something different. So, like I said, Dean was top three. It was always Dean, Christian Harris, and Lloyd for most people. But I just don't understand how people can bash him. Regardless, even if you took out two people, him being the top three is and winning an award that shows that it shows that you're one of the best linebackers in college football. Period. Because that stuff matters in college. It matters in college. It matters. Accolades matter everywhere. As long as you're getting them all throughout college, going to the pros, and if you start getting them there, that shows that you're a great player and you've been that way for years. I think Dean's one of those guys that, that's going to matter for when he makes it to our defense next year. He's that field general we've needed for years. Eagles use the draft for the future. If they wanted immediate impact at DT, they would have just taken Wyatt. Why? Why would you say that? Dean's getting a double. I mean, if Davis was getting a double team, then Wyatt was getting a single team, single coverage, then why would you say that he was the better player? I think they're both good, but you can't substitute. I think the bigger impact is the bigger guy, the bigger, more physical, athletic species. He's going against men, not college kids. If anything, you can use the Wyatt thing on him. That maybe he'll have more trouble with double teams and stuff in the pros as opposed to a guy like Jordan Davis. So I don't think that I don't agree with that statement. Doesn't make sense to me. If you guys can help me make sense out of it, then or trade for one. Because defensive tackle was not the issue. We have great defensive tackles besides Jordan. We made that position stronger. Is what we did. We made it stronger with a Jordan Davis. We were not in dire need. Oh my God, like if we don't get a defensive tackle, we're gonna be in some trouble. We upgraded a strength as we always do in the draft. The first two rounds, we always get defensive lineman or offensive lineman in the start of these drafts for the most part. So we stuck to plan, build in the trenches. But do I think that any other defensive tackle would be more of an impact on this team? No. I think he gets more playing time as a rookie on this team than other people would have just because of his size. Just because of his floor. I think he'll get, if we would have got a White, he'll get less playing time because we got a Milton Williams on the team that's about the same size. So, what kind of upgrade would that be? We went on talent. We went on projection, of talent, and we went on something that we could not quantify. Like no one knows how good Davis could be this year. No one. Like they know he's a freak of nature, and everybody's pretty excited on seeing what he can do. Especially losing all that weight, being more athletic. Come on, guys. You act like 4'7", and even 340 is not impressive. Like he's even slimming down from that, and he's definitely going to be in a lot better shape, more athletic. I'm pretty sure all that stuff for this season. So I'm not worried about Jordan Davis, not one bit. Eagles 10 in the East, Washington Nation top 5. What are you talking about? There's only 4 teams, big simple. That's all cap. Damn well Washington ain't top 5 or nothing. But thanks for stopping by. I love you, man. TJ will start at Mike all year unless injuries. I know you've been saying that, and I think, Marianne, you were the one saying that. I think that you believe he's going to be a top 5 linebacker in the league this year. And like I said, hey, if that turns out to be the case, I'm 100% on board with that. I'm 100% on board with that. But I really highly doubt that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to be I don't think he is going to be a top 5 linebacker this year, and I do believe Dean will take his spot. Then you said Rocker couldn't fix him at Georgia. Why would you think he'll fix him now? What do you mean he didn't fix him at Georgia? Last I checked, he was a first-round draft pick. Our team drafted him in the first round, and if we wouldn't have got him, I'm pretty positive that the Ravens would have drafted him in the first round. So I don't know what you mean by saying that he wasn't fixed at Georgia, because he was fixed good enough to be a first-round draft pick. That's your only hope in life, right? Last I checked, you play football to get drafted. You get drafted in the first round, you're one of the better players. But I think Rocker did a great job with him the time he spent with him at Georgia. It helped him. I bet you he was better than high school. A lot of people, but like I said, hey, I don't criticize or even judge you guys. Like I said, you guys have the right to believe whatever you guys want. I'm not trying to sway you at all. I'm just telling you how I feel about it. So I hope no one takes no offense to what I'm saying. But I just think some of the stuff doesn't make no sense. Different scheme as well. Whatever. We don't even have a scheme. We're multiple scheme. We're gonna be a multiple scheme team. Patriots did it for years. It worked out good for them. They won a lot of championships. Bill Belichick kept going back and forth from a 3-4 to 4-3 to all different other kind of disguises. That's what you got to do. You really don't want to be set on one scheme anyway. You want to be versatile. And we got players to help our scheme be way more versatile this year, and I expect to see it. Everyone wants to talk about how great Georgia defense was, but NFL teams would easily score 40, 50 points on them. Are you comparing grown men to 18 and 19-year-olds? Not a fair comparison. I don't think it is, at least. And I think I would say even like how we should do with Alabama. Like Alabama will probably get stumped by an NFL team, but that's just certain NFL team. I believe that on some of the better defenses that Georgia and Alabama had, they could have beat some of our worst teams, or at least made it competitive. Oh yeah, make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe. We are on the road to 4K. Please help me get there. Share the content, get it out there. 1 year in the books. I am so excited for year 2. I cannot wait. We have new merch in the merch shop. Everything's inside there. Check it out. The Bird Game VIP link will give you access to all my social media platforms to follow and subscribe to. That's including BGN Sports Media. That's including BGN Entertainment. That's including the merchandise stores for BGN and for my own personal channel. So make sure you guys click that link, check it out, and help me get there, guys. We want my goal to be this time next year with 2 years down. I would love to be around, the 10,000 mark. I think we grow fast over here. I put out some fire content. I still got a lot of room of improvement, just like Jalen Hurts, but let you guys know it's the off season and I'm working on it. As you see, I got a new layer, the Eagles layer, and that we're gonna add to that. We're working on, this OBS thing. We're working on a lot of things to bring you better content in 2022. So be on the lookout for that. I know channel memberships. Everybody needs to make sure they unlock their gifted channel memberships. I think I'm gonna do some things here, in the upcoming week with the new feature on YouTube, how we can gift out channel memberships. And I'm going to start putting some other content on top of on the inside of the channel membership side, because I haven't really been taking advantage of that. And some of you guys been hit with me since day one, and I got to give you guys some extra love for that. So don't worry about it. BG is working on it, and we're definitely going to get things tied down in 22. Said Tony Manich was a freak and sucked at football. Was he a freak that everybody that got drafted first round with 13 pick? That's the question I'll ask. I don't even know who that guy is. Was he a top recruit? Was he a top talent in college? Was he on one of the best college defenses? Was he a top 15 pick? Because if he was none of those things, he's not even comparable. We're not bringing it in there. There's been a lot of fat people that made it pro, or big people that made it pro and didn't do nothing. You're right about that part, but Davis is bigger and he's talented. What up, Grant? How you been, my guy? I haven't seen you in a minute. He said, "What is new? No work today. Off today. Sweet. Just got back from the laundromat after I worked. Tired. Yeah, man. No work for me today. I'm back at it again tomorrow. I know if you guys seen Bird of Bros, you can see me that I have to do. Probably got to pull some shows from work. That was fun being able to jump in on that stream. And much love to all you guys for supporting the channel. I think for that first whole hour, they made it their 12th quarterback out of the 40 or 32 that they did, and that's when I came on the show. So shout out to all you guys. You guys had the crowd, the chat rocking. We were over like 28 people at that time. That was awesome. And walking on that, being at work and still getting support, even though I wasn't on the show full time. But so I do salute you guys and much love to you guys. Says facts. What are all this spam? Okay. He said BG31. You see Tim from Online Big Blue Sports talk about affiliate media said that 5 teams that have 2 first rounders in 2022 will get a quarterback. Eagles got 2 first. No, I didn't watch that. I need to go check him out. I haven't seen too many of his videos lately, but I know he put out some good content, so I'm gonna go check that out. Was that a new video? And you talking about for next year? Because I don't think the Eagles are getting a quarterback next year. Now, like I told you, if we need a quarterback next year, that's another reason to be really excited about this year, because our team is not going to be the same next year. We got a lot of veteran players that won't be here next year. We got a lot of 1-year contracts that won't be here next year. So if you feel excited, if these lists are right and we're top 10 in all these other categories, this is the year to be excited and support your team to 100, the more than you ever supported them before. Because we didn't expect that Super Bowl in 17. Season kind of started going, and as the season got better we started expecting a little bit more. Like, oh, this could happen. Oh, this can happen. Oh, this can happen. Oh, we looking really good. But that's as the season progressed. Like, we are at that. I feel like I'm at that point right now, and we haven't even hit preseason yet. So, I think this is a different vibe, different feel. I think we need to all be ready to be excited. Big Simple, we litty. Right now, Davis is not an upgrade over our DTs. He is depth. I agree. He's not. Right now, I can't say Jordan Davis is better than Fletcher Cox or Hargraves. You're right. 0%. I 100% agree with you with that. But I will say he will be an upgrade. The longer he plays, the more snaps he gets. The more he puts in on that football field and puts out. He will be an upgrade eventually. He could be. I could see Davis being better than Fletcher Cox. He's bigger than Flex, more athletic than Flex. Those were the key things that made Fletch. Why wouldn't you think someone bigger and more athletic? That's the way football is. Every year, people get bigger, faster, stronger. More talented players come out of the draft. So, we got one of them. So, we'll see what happens. But no one thought Aaron Donald was going to be the best football player. He was good. I bet you people didn't really think he was going to be number 1. He said he was good because of his combine numbers as a project, not because his play. You don't pick first round. You definitely don't pick, top 15 players off a project. You see enough talent. The Eagles seen enough talent in Jordan Davis. He was that opposing in college to be considered a number 1, a first round talent. Like, everybody had him in the first round. So that's just the funny thing. Like, all before the draft even started, like, you see everybody make their list of players they want. Like we got two of the players that everybody wanted in the first round, and now that we have them, it's like the players are garbage. It's like the players aren't good anymore. Even though if most people have made their list before the draft, they all said that these players were first rounders and they would love to have them on their teams. It's like now that the Eagles have them, these players aren't as good and they're garbage and they need all this work and stuff. Some people are plug and plays. They come in, they tear things up. You know what I'm saying? Like it happens. It happens. And I think it was a top offensive tackle in the draft and an 89-ish, considered to be the next great OT, who would revolutionize the game, was a bust. Huge disappointment. Yeah, and that's an offensive tackle. That's way different. Like they have to know a lot more. They have more. It's way different going backwards than it is going forward. Like I don't even think that's a comparison. There've been plenty of big linemen that didn't do nothing. You know, we've had someone on our team via Vitae was on our team, and he's no world beater either. But we did have people that were big on our team that like that dude that went to Pittsburgh that ended up Villanueva. I think his name Villanueva, whatever his name was. That didn't do nothing with the Eagles and then turned out to be a pretty good, tackle over there with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's when it comes down to coaching. He said that video's out today. I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna definitely go check it out. But yeah, like I said, I'm not here to sway nobody. My goal is just to be a fan and give you, my facts on why I believe the players who I believe in and why I believe in them. That's my right as an Eagle fan. To let you know that this team is a lot better. That we are, trending upwards. We're starting to get that offseason respect that I haven't seen this team have in years. And I don't even know if we ever really had this kind of respect in the offseason, in terms of being a number 4 in the NFC. You know, no, I'm pretty sure they have to have us in the top 10, top 12 in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like we are going into the season as a very highly ranked football team. And there's nothing, no one can take that away from us. It's time for us to embrace it ourselves. When you have a dramatic thing like that 4-12 season, you get people jumping off ships. You get people in a whole year in worry mode, where it becomes habit, where you try to find more weaknesses. You try to diagnose the team a little too much. And I think last year should have been that year you started to come off that ship, and a lot of people did. But it wasn't, it wasn't impressive enough. We still had a little bit too much bad football for everybody to totally jump off that ship, and I get it. But I'm telling you, this year, this year we seen the jump from the 4-12 players. When they played last year, they all made the jump. And I believe they're all going to make the jump from year 2 to year 3 this year. And you're going to see a much improved football team. We're going to put some work out there. The NFL is on notice that the Eagles are coming to win football games. And we're going to win a lot of them. Like I said, floor 12 wins. Ceiling is undefeated. I know, that's far-fetched. They can't go undefeated. I just tell you, the schedule is very favorable. And I'm not saying we're going to go undefeated, but it is always 17-0 until proven otherwise for me when it comes to our Philadelphia Eagles. So, but I will say that I don't see one team on that schedule that I can say can clearly cut out, come and beat us with the talent that we have right now. I just can't. Call me a homer. Unrealistic. I like it. I've been called that since I started. I love it. I'm going to tell you one thing. I know my football. I play football at a high level. I know we're going to dominate and do some big things this year. What up, Dizzle? How you been, my guy? The only? Yeah. How you been? Thanks for the support. What up, Richard? How you doing today? Hope everything's good. She says, I'm super excited about the team. Everybody should be. Everybody. The only thing national media runs with is Jalen can't make the throws. He's gonna ball out, Pro Bowler. Facts, Dizzle. He will be a Pro Bowl. If he was an alternate last year, and like no one even gives him that credit. I know like you're not giving credit for people that won second place. You're not giving credit for people that almost did something. You don't get credit for those things. But to be, with some of the records that Jalen Hurts has, he has some pretty impressive records. 4,000 yards, 1,000 yards in your first, 20 games as a pro. Like he has records that no one else done. So to still think this guy, you know, can't make it in this league is crazy. He had over 3,100 yards. I've seen seasons where starting quarterbacks didn't even get 3,000 yards. There's been seasons like that, lots of them. You know, and if you add up all the drops alone, the man's right there at 400. 4,000. So you know, we just gotta get out of nitpick mode. We want the best. Sometimes you just gotta buckle your shoes, and go into eyes shut and just go. We're gonna see what happens. But as of right now, Jalen Hurts is that dude. He showed me enough. You see it, you love it. As long as you love and see what you see about a guy, then you have to respect it and understand it. It is definitely Hurts season, baby. This is definitely his team. They won't even come out and tell you that the guys, the guy, the Eagles are already talking about $35 to $40 million contract extension this early next offseason. They're talking about it now because they know that is the smartest move they can make for the future of this team is to go ahead and get that deal done early this year. So if he stays healthy this offseason, he looks good in training camp. You put him out there one of these preseason games, definitely in the side joint practices. And if he balls out, like I know he will, if he balls out, you go ahead, Howie, and you get that contract signed as soon as possible. You get that 35 off jump, $40 million off jump. Go ahead and give him the contract now. Because I promise you, if he balls out like I think he's going to ball out this year, you're going to be paying more than 40. You're going to be paying more like a 45, 50 top quarterback type money because that's what kind of production you will see from Jalen Hurts this year. So I think the believers probably say pay him now. The disbelievers going to say wait a little bit. But I'm telling you, you already know. Howie knows. The team knows. Lane told you that the team already knew last year that Jalen Hurts, proved that he is that dude last year. So the proof is in the pudding. Jalen is that dude. We just need to embrace it, understand that he is not going nowhere anytime soon. Anytime soon. Is that please understand I'm not down on Dean or Davis. They have great potential, but they are not plug and play at a high NFL level right now. Like I said, I don't know about that. Like I said, plug and play for Davis, he doesn't have to plug and play. We don't have to plug and play him. So he's already eliminated off of that conversation. Like I said, he's just gonna make some when he's playing this year, he's gonna be dominant. I'm not saying he's gonna be playing a lot with guys like Fletch and Hargrave in front of him. Dean though, on the other hand, I think Dean is plug and play linebacker. Good linebackers is the smarts, being able to diagnose plays. That it has really, we've seen some really slow linebackers be great. We've had some great linebackers that weren't the most athletic people in the world, but become great linebackers. It's just at that position, you're cerebral, like the quarterback position, and Dean got those type of smarts. Or he's gonna be the quarterback of this defense. Dean doesn't have to go out there and make every play if he puts his players in the right positions to make those plays for him. If you're calling out the right fronts, the right coverages, you're doing your own job. You're the captain of that ship. You get these guys to play at a high level. You pumping them up on the sideline. You're pumping them up in the games. You're being that leader, that commander that it takes to be a legit middle linebacker in the NFL. You can do that your first year. That I can't say. Quarterbacks coming in, balling out, that's very rare. But stud linebackers, a la Michael Parsons. I know he's a different type of linebacker, but there's been plenty other, first round talented linebackers that go into the league and ball out their first year, and ball like every year after that. So I think Dean is that guy. It's fine if you don't agree. I know you say you're not saying you're not down. You're not trying to be down on Dean, but I really think that you're underestimating his smarts, the cerebral side of the game that Dean has. That is an advantage over a lot of other, young linebackers, and I think that will help propel him to the starting role by the end of the season. And he will be an impact player for our defense for years to come. What up, D Gifted? How you doing, my guy? He said Jalen is the best leader the Eagles has had as quarterback next to Nick Foles. 100. Leader? Yeah, Nick was a great leader. Yeah, I give you that. Nick was a great leader. Yeah, because Carson wasn't really that much of a leader. McNabb, not so much. So yeah, I would say Jalen is the best leader we probably had at quarterback ever. The guy that can motivate players, that can bring players to reach their full. Players want to play for this guy. Players want to go to bat. When AJ first got here, he's like, man, this is my brother. This is my best friend. So now I'm not only playing for myself, as if he was saying he playing for the team, obviously, because it's a team player, but he's like, I play for myself more than Tennessee, because it's like he didn't really know the way. He's not from Tennessee. He playing with his best friend. That's everybody's dream, to play with your brother or your best friend in the pros. I promise you. If you play sports, that's probably your number one dream, to play with your best friend or your brother. He goes, I am be playing for the Philadelphia Eagles, but I am playing for Jalen Hurts to make his job easier so he can become the player he needs to be. That's what AJ Brown said. So the leader, people want to play for Jalen Hurts and be great with Jalen Hurts. When the offseason started, everybody said, no one's going to want to come here because Jalen Hurts is our quarterback. No one's going to want to be on the Eagles when they don't have a quarterback. Well, how do we prove that theory wrong? We added a lot of pieces to our team this offseason, a lot of talented players, because they see the culture. They feel the energy inside the building. They want to be a part of what's going on in Philadelphia this year. So we knocked down a lot of that early talk in the offseason, once Howie started making the moves. So now it's just time to understand that the plan is in place. You heard Miles Sanders say, are you seeing Miles Sanders? He got a tweet. I want to say it was through who asked him that, but he was like, man, we are playing with an all-star team. That's what we feel like on this team. We have an all-star team, meaning we're going to go be able to do what we want, when we want, how we want to do it. And that's what the Philadelphia Eagles will do this year to other teams in the league. What we want, when we want, how we want. Top to bottom rosters, I really feel like we got to be top 3, top 5 minimum. Top to bottom rosters. I'm not adding in the coaching, experience, and all that extra stuff. Just the roster alone, man. We don't have very many weak spots. And not every team, even some of the better teams, can even say that. Everybody wants to do great, not just for self, but for him. The leader that leads hella good. Yes, he is that leader that leads. He said, Davis looks good, trimmed down. Exactly. That's why I don't know why people are still using the whole gas in the tank with Davis. Like, he's already proven to you that he will do things. He heard the noise, and he's already showing you that he can change that narrative real fast. Real fast. 20 pounds from championship game to combine, and from combine to now. If you go take that championship tape, championship game, Jordan Davis, and line him up against this Jordan Davis, we got a way better player right now. Way better player with way more potential. The Reverend D Gifted is in the building for show. Grant said, what about my Eagles 3.0 draft? You seen it? I had Eagles taking Cam Jurgens, my boy. Yeah, I think I looked over that. That was good. That was good, and that was a good pick. A good call from you, Grant. You know your stuff. I can't wait till you just go ahead and say forget it and get your own football channel. Like you don't even have to have a Dolphin channel. You can just do an NFL channel. Make some money so you wouldn't have to work, and make some money doing something you like to do. Talk sports, so you don't have to work your regular job as much. You know what I'm saying? Bias Radio, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. He said, yo, Bird Game 31, stop it in and show some support. Hope all is well. All is well and all is good, Enjoying a day off. This is probably not going to even be my only stream. I'm probably going to stream again tonight. After I handle some business. But thanks for stopping by. Make sure all you guys, we got 25 in here. Make sure everybody's hitting that like on whatever platform you're watching from. I know we are live on Twitter. We are live on Facebook. We are live on Bird Game 31 channel. And we are also live on BGN's Sports Media. So make sure if you're on any one of those platforms, or if you can, after the stream or whatever, you go ahead and hit that like, get a view up on, all the platforms so they can all grill. D Gifted 316, right? If Jalen is a franchise quarterback, how far can he take this team this year? Championship. If Jalen is the franchise quarterback, we win the Super Bowl. I said it here. I'll repeat that. If Jalen is a franchise quarterback that we think he can be, we win a Super Bowl if he plays like that this year. If Jalen's an MVP candidate, our coaches are coaching good, we win a Super. We go to the Super Bowl this year. That's why it says floor 12 wins, and 12 wins, that's automatic playoff. That's me telling you right now, if you got $1 in your pocket, go put it down on the Eagles going to the playoffs right now. Right now. Go put your money down on that. That is going to happen. That is going to be a fact. It will be all facts. Those are all facts that will happen. I'm telling you guys. And hell, after week 7, I'll tell you if you put your money down on that Super Bowl. If you want to go ahead and jump the gun, I'll say go ahead and do it now. Go put the money down. Even if you got, just for being a fan, I do this every year. Just for being a fan, put your money down. The Eagles going to the Super Bowl. Because you never know. We don't want those odds to drop mid-season. Go ahead and do it now where the odds are stacked against it. Bigger profit margin. He said, fly, Eagles, fly. What up, D. Aldridge? How you doing, my guy? Thanks for stopping by. Eagles landed. Much love to you. Salute to you for stopping by as well. The facts. What we want, when we want, how we want. Yes, that is the team. That is the energy we all need to have for our football team this year going into the season. As Eagle fans, you guys got to realize, what is a fan? It's the blood, the life force of a organization, a team, or whatever you're a fan of. So as that fan, we need to give them the energy, and we have to believe it ourselves that we will do what we want, when we want, and how we do it, how we want to do it. And I believe with the roster that how we put together this year, we can do that. When you got the the number 1 offensive line, top 3 defensive line, that alone in yourself is dominate. And that's a good football team. There hasn't been too many football teams throughout the history of the league that had a number 1 offensive line and top 5, top 3 defensive line and didn't win football games, period. But the rest of the talent is the reason why we win the Super Bowl. I think we win it this year, to be honest. That's my early hot take. Eagles win Super Bowl. Jalen Hurts, Super Bowl MVP. And now if the Eagles wait to pay him, God damn it, we're going to have to give him that $50 million. Whatever top 3 quarterback is. in the league. The thanks, BG, but I prefer to hear guys like you who truly grind. Thank you. Thank you. You know, Grant, I told you the network always looking for more content creators. If any of you guys want to, join the family, the BGN family, man, always inbox me on any social media platform. We're looking for some more shows. We're looking for some more talent. If some of you guys, I know a lot of you guys talk some really good football in here, and I don't think half channels. If you ever decide you want to make that jump, let BG know. I got space for you. We'll definitely make that happen. Instead of buy BG a coffee, buy him a cherry Coke. I should change that. Grant, that's funny. I do love my cherry Coke. I should change that though, because I think you can change it to whatever you want. I changed it to buy me a football. If you go look at my descriptions. Excuse me. Double R017 says, I got Hurts going 4,000 yards and over 35 touchdown passes. Oh, passing and running. Yeah. 26 this year, 35. Might as well make it 40. Might as well make it 40. I think the upper echelon quarterbacks, they get what? 30 to 40 touchdowns. And I think he's going to be in the upper echelon of quarterbacks this year. Total 40. Richard says, how many touchdowns do you think Smith will get this season? Here's how I see this breaking out. I think Smith gets 8 to 10 touchdowns this year. I think he gets more receptions. Quez will have more yards per catch. But AJ's going to end up with more yards total. Somehow I got that figured out. He's going to be the possessive guy. AJ's going to have a lot of big plays. And Quez is going to have a lot of big plays as well. But he's just not going to get the same amount of targets as AJ. So that's how I see that working out. He says, I think this season is going to come to JG because he has, unlike Nick, he has not shown the ability to adjust at all. And to be honest, to be all fair and game to JG, he improved some last year. His problem was he improved like Jalen Hurts did. He took a step forward, he took a step back. He took a step forward, he took a step back. So by the end of the year, you kind of still felt like he was at the same spot. I think Jalen even felt like he improved a little bit more than JG did last year. And Nick definitely showed. I just think they were down at the different times throughout the season. Like Nick was all early. After, those first 6 games, Nick started coaching his ass off. He understood what he had to do. He understood how his team could win football games. And I think in some of those early games, JG, he was doing all right. He wasn't doing that bad, We're losing games, the first couple of games we lost, I think they were like still less than 21 points, less than 17 points, the league average or whatnot. So I think he was doing his job there. We just wasn't putting up points when Sirianni wasn't doing good. But then after that, we had some good defensive performances. We blew out Detroit. We did good in Denver. We didn't do that bad against the Giants, even though we lost that game. We didn't do bad again. What was the score? Like, it was a low scoring game. So in terms of our defense, we went from getting ran all over to stopping the run at a high level. So I think he did improve last year. He definitely needs to improve a lot more, and he definitely needs to be a lot more aggressive. And he needs to stop giving respect to all these quarterbacks. Stop it. Make quarterbacks beat you. I don't care even if you had a weaker defense, even if he had the same defense, our defense would look better. We have more respect for him if he tried to put the pressure on. All this sitting back, relaxing coverage and things, that's garbage. That's horse trash. You can't do that. You treat all quarterbacks the same, a target. You teach your defense, you hit that target no matter who's behind center. Every single down, Your goal is to hit the target over and over again until the game is over. If you're not teaching that method in defense, you're not a good quarterback. You're not going to teach, oh, we're going to let you nickel and dime us down the field because you forgot nickel and dime means rhythm that you're giving the other team. You're giving them that much more rhythm throughout their offense by letting them nickel and dime you. And more than not, they're going to still score a touchdown because there's only 100 yards on the football field. So you can go 5, 10, all you want, all down right down the field to the 5-yard line. Boom. Now next is 5-yard touchdown. Boom. That's what was happening to our team. So stop giving so much respect to these coaches, these organizations, these players of the opposite team, and start making them respect you. I said this a billion times. It is time for players, coaches alike to have the league put some respect on their name. Put some respect on the Philadelphia Eagles in 2022 because they're going to earn it. They're going to earn it. Huh. Move. Most overly optimistic fan. I don't know. No, because I feel like if we didn't have this team, man, I wouldn't be this optimistic. You know, I just go for what I see. I look at talent. I look at, the whole picture all the way around. So this optimistic, I'm confident we're going to do these things. I'm just, I think everything I said, we're going to be one of the best teams. Jalen Hurts is going to be MVP candidate, and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. Those are things I believe will happen this year. It's not optimistic. I don't think there could be any other way. 12-5 minimum. 17-0 going into the playoffs. The roof, baby. I think we have the talent. We have the talent. The holes that we needed last year, the 9-win team, the holes that could have made them play a lot better in the playoffs and be a lot ready for the playoffs in terms of skill level, we fixed all those holes. Now it's time to go put out on the football field and win more games. That's how I see it. Can't just let offense dink and dunk down the field. Facts. That's what we do. We can't do that. It's always good to be able to, like, when you do that, you're trying to have a perfect defense, The back end can hold up long enough where the front four can get to the quarterback fast enough. Simple, very simple vanilla defense. No. You got to be creative. You got to bring that pressure every single down from different positions on the field. Bring that heat every down. Body bags, baby. Snot bubbles, as they say in the program. Snot bubbles. I want all the offensive players, every single game, I want to see at least one player with snot bubbles get hit so hard that snot's pouring out of his nose. That's what I want to see from our defense this year. We'll see if he doesn't. Okay, I like it. We need to break down each game for the Eagles' win, losses, and ties. Oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be breakdowns all year long. All year long. There's a lot of great content coming. Apologize again for the beginning. Had a little mix up. I'm getting used to all this stuff. But much salute to all you guys for coming out to the stream today. I gotta go run some errands now. So we're gonna jump off of here. Salute to all you guys. Hit that like on the way out. If you're content creators, share this out. If you're on any other platform, share it out. And then find himself in Wednesday of next week. Facts. Let the paramedics sort them out. The paramedics sort them out. So we're gonna be back on here later on tonight. Whether it's another stream, I'm gonna try to get some other eco content creators. See if I can get another show with one of them tonight. If not, maybe even come on here with some Madden. I haven't played no Madden in a while, so we might come on with some Madden. But salute to all you guys. Fly, Eagles, fly, and that's always Be the biggest supporter for your football team, and let's support these Philadelphia Eagles in 22. No more playing around with it. We got the team you wanted. Everybody had the list. The list was filled. Let's support our team like fans should. And let's tell the world that we know we have a good football team and we are better than your football team until you guys can prove otherwise. We are the Philadelphia freaking Eagles. And on that note, I'm out. Peace.